Good day, everyone. Welcome to today's class, and thanks for liking and sharing our posts. Thank you for the encouragement so far. You guys have done it also for us. I really appreciate for pushing this brand. Thank you very much. Really appreciate. Today's class we'll be talking about buying undervalued real estate. Buying undervalued real estate. Buying undervalued real estate. What is undervalued real estate? That is some investment that are not worth it. That people buy above the normal price that is going to be bought. Now, I will first start about some people who thought buying big is the very first way to start. You don't need to start big. To be honest, you don't need to start big. I said in my previous video about some lands that are very cheap, and some people they are now developed environment, and people are now selling in millions and they bought in thousands. Then, this is a real estate approach. Is not something you should start big. Even any business you are venturing into, you don't just start big. You start small to understand the market, then you can explore and do something big, even though you have the money with you. So you don't need to start big. Some beginner thought buying big investment is it. Buying property with big amounts is the way to start an investment, and that's not the way to start an investment. Because if you ask some seasoned investors, those investors will tell you that the secret to making money in real estate is to buy low and rent high or sell high. For those who are into property flipping, that you buy, renovate, and you sell. You can actually buy low, then you can sell high. Buying low is the key, and then selling high is the profit. So that's the first approach to buying property in the real estate investment. So what makes a property undervalued? What makes a property undervalued? Number one is foreclosure. Foreclosure, I already explained in our previous videos. Those are investment properties that are being seized or acquired by bank or mortgage organization because the lender cannot fulfill his promises at the end, so they had to collect the investment, and they need to sell the investment out to see their own gain, their profit, their money. So they will actually put it down in a lower price beyond the market, because they are not really after the investment, they are only after their money to get their money back, because they don't want the property to sit for long. All they need is their cash. So foreclosure properties are always coming in a lower budget. So a foreclosure property is undervalued property. Another one is an owner distressed properties. Owner distressed property. Those are owners who are in need of quick cash. They need this cash urgently, maybe for something or for some financial pressure. They need the cash very urgently, and they need it immediately, even if they can get it that moment. So their property, once you negotiate, even in the listing price, they will not put it out in a higher price. They'll put it out in a lower price because they need the money very quickly. So I talked about foreclosure, I talked about owner distress, and another point here is that inherited properties. Those are properties that are inherited from maybe their family members, or maybe their fathers or their mothers, or maybe relatives, stuff like that. Since it is an inherited property, those heirs that are entitled to the property, they really need money at that moment, and they want the property to be gone so they can share the money ASAP. So those property can be a distressed property, and they can also be a undervalued property, because actually they don't know the amount they are selling that kind of property in that kind of area. They just put an amount on property to sell it up because they need the money immediately, and they are not the one that built it to even know the estimation of how much the property worth. Or maybe the family are having a crisis or issues, and they need to just sell it at any price just to split the money within themselves. So another one is damaged and neglected buildings. Some buildings are damaged and they are neglected because of the damage on it. People won't go for it because they feel maybe can you see the fence are broken, or maybe can you see these stuffs are old. They are damaged properties. Those are properties that investors who are into flipping will actually love to go for, because once they buy it, they renovate with some little amount of money to put the property back into market and to its property value, and to resell immediately to see their cash and their gain on it. So another one is personal or financial issues in the family. I talked about that. Once they are having a financial issue, personal issue in the family, they'll come together. Okay, let's sell this property up to just share money and share. So we know that we don't have anything that is tying us all together anymore. So another one is storm or fire damage. Once a property has a fire damage, or maybe a storm maybe remove the roof or something like that, the property will be sitting vacant like a damaged property, because people will not actually wish to buy, because they will think, oh, this. But once you run your investment calculation on it and you feel that the return on your investment will be huge, you can actually go for those property. Those are kind of foreclosure property. Now, make sure it works for you. Not every cheap property is a good deal. Actually, not every property you see there that it's actually listed as cheap, that is actually a good property. Like I said, what are the things to ask yourself? Maybe this property actually, as it's cheap, it's something I can go for. Number one is that, can I fix it up and improve it? You should know maybe you can fix it up and improve it, because you have to run a calculation with a professional, like a plumber, a painter, those handiwork mentioned. You can actually ask them for a quotation on how much it will actually cost you to renovate the property up to its taste, to bring it back to the market. So once you run the calculation and see that the investment worth it, then you are fine to go. You are good to invest. So another thing also to check up is that, do I have the fund or team to renovate the property? Even if you don't have the team, actually, if you have the fund, you can actually get a team to renovate the property. That's not a stressful thing to go about. You can actually get a good team, or maybe a realtor who will help you to secure that kind of property can actually help you in that aspect, to get an handyman that will help you fix or renovate that same property. Another question to ask yourself, which is the third question, is that, will it give me good resale or rental value? Will it give me good resale or rental value? You have to ask that question seriously, because not every property you see that is cheap that you can actually resell, or after furnishing it, when you resell it will worth the value. No. Or maybe the rental value will increase. No. So you have to know the kind of renovation you want to do to a home to rent it out. Because some areas, I can see some people, they are putting much more renovation on an area that can't actually appreciate that kind of renovation, that kind of amenities that is inside. So they can't actually afford it in that kind of area, because people are not, the demand in that area is not the demand for something like that. So you have to try and calculate that. So maybe you make a good sale, so your rental value will actually increases. Now, the last point for today is that, turn trash into trail. Turn your trash into trail. Turn trash property into trail. So if you are ready, if you got the resources, the labor, the funding, and the renovation skills, if you got that, you can turn a trash property, a property that is unwanted by people, or a property that is not a valuable asset to people, to something valuable, that it will be a joy for everyone once they see it, and they will love to seriously buy it. And for those kind of property, you will make a serious profit on it. Once you make your estimation, you make a serious profit on those kind of property. So you have to turn trash into trail. So that will be all for today. Once again, my name is Consultant Ayomiku. As you all know, we are into real estate investment opportunities. If you want to buy a property, or you want to buy a land in the location in Ibadan, Lagos, or Abuja, or anywhere in Nigeria, we can actually help you find, based on your budget and your needs and your specification of what you really wanted. Then we can help you out with that. Thank you. That will be all for today. See you next time, and see you in the next class. Bye.